everyone. Sorry this is a weird angle, but I thought it would be good. So I wanted to give you guys a personal update before I start. One of the things that I've been thinking about, and if you've watched any of my videos before, is what team I'm going to be swimming on next year, the men's or the women's team in college, because I'm going to be swimming in college regardless. And I said earlier that I was going to be on the women's team, but I've had more meetings with the men's team and more meetings with both coaches, and it's sort of become more up in the air now. I'm not a fan of that, because I just liked having my decision, even if it wasn't necessarily the best one. But at this point, I am still deciding. So I'm back to where I was before in terms of when am I going to swim on the men's team, am I going to swim on the women's team. There are really three options. There's swim on the women's team, and then there's swim on the men's team with hormones or without hormones, because I'm technically fast enough to swim without hormones, but I would be at the bottom, or the middle bottom average kind of place, and not really compete a whole lot because I wouldn't be good enough to compete. So there's, do I want to take hormones? There's a lot of different things that go into that. It's really complicated. It's really stressing me out, so I'm not going to go into depth about that. Maybe I'll make a video on my personal channel about that. But the point is that I'm now back up in the air, and I'm not sure which team I'm going to swim for. I really want to sort of do the men's and testosterone thing, but then I'm losing a lot of things from the women's team, and I'm losing, I think, my status or whatever, being good, and throwing a lot of things up in the air. There's a lot of unknowns on the men's. I don't know. So anyways, this week's topic is talking about what social media has influenced or helped us with our transitions. So for me, the main, I guess, two social medias that have helped me with my transition are A, YouTube, and B, Instagram. So I created an Instagram a while back because I saw some people, I think I just looked up the FTM tag or something when I first understood what that was on Instagram, and I found a couple of the really big whatever Instagrams, and I can link them in somewhere or comment them in. But I started looking at those, and I started looking at the fact that they were once women, and then they had flat chests, or they had hair on their faces, and I was like, how did that happen? And so I looked into it, and I found that there was testosterone, and I found that there was top surgery, and I found that there were bottom surgery. So a lot of that knowledge just came from looking at people on Instagram. And then the other thing that really helped me was YouTube. And that just helped me understand more about what the process looked like. So what does it look like when you're 3 months on testosterone? What does it look like if you're on gels versus injections? What does an injection look like? Those kinds of things. And I learned a lot about what transitions look like in terms of day 1 and day 100, day 365, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, from YouTube, and how people sounded, and how people's, how they just seem, or that really helped me see people in transitions. And I think it's easy to say, oh yeah, there are trans people out there, but when I saw a person sitting down in front of a computer and talking about, so I'm 8 months on T, and this has happened, and I've gotten hairy, and I got more muscular, etc., it made it more real for me. And I think that was a huge part of me being able to understand and also realize that transitioning was viable for me. And same with just understanding how Garamoni worked. I mean, there are a million Garamoni reveals on YouTube, so going through that and going through my own reveal and just being able to know everything before it happened. And I'm the kind of person that likes to know things before they happen. So Instagram and YouTube, very helpful for me. I have a YouTube and an Instagram, so you guys can check those out because I want to give back, and also they're outlets for me. But yeah, the other thing I used was Google, because I, as an athlete, was trying to see if there are other athletes out there. So I Googled things like transgender athlete, or female to male athlete, or testosterone and transgender in the NCAA, or something like that, to see if there are people who were like me. Honestly, I found 3 people, maybe, and most of them are competing still as women and not on testosterone. None of them have gotten surgery yet, so that makes my situation a little complicated because I might be swimming on the men's team with testosterone, so I might be one of the first to do that. We'll see. So yeah, that's all I really got for you guys in terms of transitioning, YouTube, social media, etc., everything on the internet. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my video. Have a great weekend. Catch all the other guys on this channel, and I'll see you back here next Friday.